Hello friends, welcome to my today's lecture on how to read OPG part 2. In previous part 1, we have seen anatomical landmark of the OPG. This is my radiology series third video. Let us learn what are the diagnostic features on OPG. First, we have to learn what is a normal OPG, what are the normal anatomical landmark. Then only we can learn what is the abnormal on OPG. On my part 1 video, we have learned the anatomical landmark of OPG. Just briefing for part 1. This is a normal OPG. This is a normal anatomical landmark showing a tooth structures, the enamel dentine apices of the root, the maxillary sinuses, the orbital floor, the anterior nasal spine, the nasal septa, the zygomatic processes, the coronoid process, the condylar process, the TMJ joints, the mandible, the submandibular fossa, the inferior alveolar nerve canal bundle, the inferior border of mandible. These are the common structure we have to look for the normal age OPG. Let us start what are the abnormal presentation on 2D radiology on OPG. Let us start. Today we are going to learn what are the common terminologies we have to deal with for interpretation and for identification of pathological structure on radiographs or the OPG. Right, this is the first. This is what we can see. This is a unilocular and corticated pathology. Right, what is mean of unilocular? It means the pathology contained one compartment and surrounded by a cortical margins, well defined cortical margin. So this kind of pathology we can call a unilocular well defined corticated pathology, right? The differential diagnosis and the case reports of the each presentation we will see at the end of the terminology part, right? In this pathology slide we can see this is a unilocular but non-corticated pathology, right? Here we can able to see in maxilla the non-corticated but a diffused border of the pathology, but it's unilocular. It means it having a only single compartment. This is mostly happen in a infected cyst or infected pathologies, right? In these first two we have seen a uni compartment or unilocular pathology. Here we are going to see what is the multilocular pathology. Here we can able to see multilocular. It means it having a multiple compartment of the pathology of radiolucency. These all pathology we are seeing are radiolucent pathology. What are the radiolucent term used for radiograph? Radiolucent means a black color pathology, right? Here a radiolucent multifocal or multinodular or multi-compartment pathology we can able to see, which surrounded by a well corticated multiple well corticated pathology. So we can able to tell that this pathology having a multilocular well corticated border pathology, right? Next, what is the next presentation of pathology on OPG? This is a radio opaque pathology. What is the radio opaque? Radio opaque means a white color pathology, means the presentation of radiograph of such pathology looks like white structure. Here a unilocular radio opaque pathology. Like previous, the radio opaque pathologies are also maybe a corticated border having a corticated border or non-corticated diffuse border also, right? Here a multilocular radio opaque borders with having a small radio opaque pathologies. Like here also we can see a multilocular well corticated well defined margins we can able to see with inside a impacted tooth bud and the radio opaque calcification calcified pathology. The differential diagnosis of such pathology and case report we will see at the end of these terminologies, right? Here what are these? This is a radio opaque structure or calcified structure we can able to see on the OPG just outside the bony part. What it indicates? It indicates calcification in soft tissue. Mostly salivary gland cyaloliths are represent like this. What is next presentation of pathology? This is having a irregular border of bony extension of pathology. What it indicate? It indicate aggressiveness of its pathology, means the pathology is aggressive and having a irregular border, right? Here a classical radio opaque and radiolucent mixed pathology we can able to see. Sometimes this is called as orange pill like radiographic appearance or a salt paper like appearance. In mostly osteosarcomas we can able to see such kind of presentation, right? What is next? This is a classical presentation of moth eaten radiographic presentation. What is moth eaten? It's like punch out bony parts or small parts we can able to see. Mostly this presentation is seen in chronic bony infections, mostly in case of osteomyelitis. We will see the cases OPG at the end of my today's presentation. Let us start with some radiographic cases and its interpretation, right? Here on this OPG we can able to see this tooth is having a long standing caries or badly carious teeth with a periapical unilocular radiolucent pathology with well demarcated cortical border, right? It means it represents a mostly periapical cyst or radicular cyst. On OPG radicular cyst look like this, so we have to keep this kind of presentation in mind. This is a very common pathology we can able to see or able to diagnose or OPG. Here what is this? This is a well defined unilocular pathology surrounded by well defined margins of cortex, means a cortical unilocular pathology. Here we can able to see this kind of pathology. Cystic pathology is started from this C junction of this impacted wisdom tooth. Mostly it will be a dentigerous cyst. Here this OPG of the patient having a multifocal or multilocular pathology, seen a radiolucent part and inside the radio opaque trabeculae pattern or the compartment patterns are also there, or this radio opaque septa is also called as radio opaque septas inside the pathology. On this OPG this looks like a mixed pathology, means maybe two types of pathology are submerged here or mixed here. Like this one pathology we can consider, this is looks like a dentigerous cyst, starts from here this to this impacted tooth. This the region of this dentigerous cyst is here, and the second part is this large pathology. Like you can able to see a large radiolucent area surrounded by a thin radio opaque margins. So this and the because of this pathology the tooth are displaced, right? So this may be a ameloblastoma with mixed with the dentigerous cyst. So this we can consider a ameloblastoma, unicystic ameloblastoma. So for differential diagnosis of this kind of pathology, we can consider a dentigerous cyst, unicystic ameloblastoma, or odontogenic keratocyst. Here on this OPG, we can able to see a multilocular, multifocal, non-defined cortical margins here. This looks like infected odontogenic keratocyst or the ameloblastoma like structure. What means of multifocal? It means there are multiple small foci of infection at one pathology we can able to see here. The differential diagnosis of this OPG will be odontogenic keratocyst, or also known as KOT, keratogenic odontogenic tumor, or ameloblastoma, or the radicular cyst also, or the mixed pathology also, because these two tooths are having infection and done with the root canal. Possibly these three pathology we can consider for differential diagnosis. Here this is well defined cortical margins having a large pathology here and here. A radiolucent pathology surrounded by well corticated margins, and the pathology run through the bone marrow. So this is a classical representation of odontogenic keratocyst. Now it will consider as a keratogenic odontogenic tumor. Because of its not much aggressiveness as ameloblastoma, the apices of tooth are not get resorbed and not even displaced. So this is the main differentiating factor between ameloblastoma and KOT. Here we can able to diagnose this pathology here. This is a having a well corticated margin, a radiolucent area having a well defined corticated margin. What it indicates? Actually it's not a pathology, we can say it's a congenital anomaly present on the posterior part of mandible. This is called as a Staphne bone defect, or Staphne cyst, or a Staphne pseudocyst. It looks like a cystic presentation on OPG, but actually it's a not cystic pathology. It's happened because of the extended gland, submandibular gland part during the growth pattern of mandible. So this is not harmful, so that's why this is not considered as a pathology. That's why this is now considered as a Staphne bone defect. So we should keep this mind that such pathology we should rule out with a 3D CT scans for correct identification of pathology. There is no treatment required for Staphne bone cyst or Staphne bone defect. This is a radio-opaque pathology surrounded by a thin radiolucent margins. This is mostly looks like odontoma, and this is also associated with the impacted tooth. So mostly this cystic lining formation inside the dentigerous cyst starts with this impacted tooth also. So because of this oral opening from here, this kind of odontoma get infected, and that's why this radiolucent margins we can able to see. So we can say this will be mostly a infected odontoma. Here, this is a classic presentation of moth-eaten appearance. This is case of osteomyelitis. Here we can able to see a punch out type of pattern which we generally see in osteomyelitis of mandible. As I described earlier in terminology part, the radio opaque unilocular bodies, if we seen outside the bony area or inside the soft tissue area, this may be a calcification inside the soft tissue. Generally we have seen this is a region of submandibular gland and this is a region of parotid gland, right? So mostly these are the cealolith of submandibular gland and this is the cealolith of parotid gland. So we have to keep in mind such kind of salivary gland calculi we can able to diagnose on the OPG also. This is having this mandible having irregular border here because of chronic infection here. There is a high chances of pathologic fracture here, and this irregular bone having a dense radiopacity, it indicates a alveolar bone sarcoma or osteosarcoma. On this OPG we can able to see a mixed radio-opaque and radiolucent pathology present here, mostly suggestive of fibro-osseous lesion or fibrous dysplasia or mixed radio-opaque and radiolucent pathology of any origin. For such mixed pathology mostly will lead to a fibro-osseous lesions only. For more differential diagnosis, we will cover many OPG for learning purposes in my next video. Please stay tuned for my YouTube channel and subscribe and share. Thank you for today from oral surgery and beyond.